Whoops, I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Today is going to be... Let's do this. Very, the coloring is not flattering, but it is what it looks like, kind of looks like on my phone. Power Forgotten. Oh, hello. The Baruch Evu sent you to help recover our stolen treasure? Thank the heavens. And judging by your accoutrement, you're learned in the arcane arts, yes? You look more like an artist than a mage. Our pictomancer's very, Yes? If so, we need your power and wisdom. Truth be told, it is wisdom that we require most. You see, even though the treasure has been guarded by our people for generations, we know little of its true nature. In ages past, the forest of our homeland was plagued with terrible beasts. A constant source of fear and danger. To combat this menace, our mages spent many moons researching this treasure known as the Perch of the Apex. Upon unlocking its secrets, oh god, I'm sneaking. Many moons of research, known as the Perch of Apex. Upon unlocking secrets, they were able to drive the monsters from the woods, bringing peace at last. With that, the threat all but eradicated. Our forebearers forbade any further use of the treasure and enshrined it within the village. And as the years passed, we slowly forgot what it was to live in fear. Yet, as our struggles faded into memory, stories surrounding the perch of the apex became legend, then myth. Now forgotten, none living are certain of its true power. Yet the peace was shattered by a member of the passage of the Unbound. The villain wheedled his way into our trust and stole upon my husband, the treasure's appointed guardian. Caught him unawares and a terrible blow that left him unconscious. Oh, you're married. He has yet to awaken, and my daughter Tsohg has set forth to retrieve what was stolen. Unlike her father, she has no skill in arcane arts. Chose the path of the sword. Oh, you have a daughter. Oh god, that makes me go creepy. That's why I've been seeking someone the knowledge she lacks. Should the ancient power be unleashed, please, if you can, find it in your heart to help Tepika. I shall be forever grateful. If there's arcane artifacts involved, count me in. God, this makes more sense if you do it as a summoner, because you're more of a scholar than a scholar is a class. You're more of an academic. I'm a painter right now, which is weird. Oh, thank you. Now, our only chance to the thief's whereabouts is from from something he mentioned during his stay in our village. He spoke of desiring to bring change to a place called Razatan. Razatan. That is where Tepika decided to begin her search. So she boarded a ferry bound there by way of Limsalomon with her trusted sword and shield close at hand. That's how you'll know her. The cat girl with a sword and shield. There's a lot of those. She agreed to stay in Razatan to gather information until aid arrived. I know nothing of the place, but it's likely she can be found in a marketplace or such. Please, bring our treasure and my daughter safe home. Head nod. Brawly girl. Oh, she's cute. Oh, are you looking for me? Whatsoever for? Drac'to? And you're saying my mother sent you? Why am I giving her a British accent? I took it she's already explained the details, such as how we have next to nothing for the treasure. No, next to nothing of the treasure and its capabilities. We have only the legend passed down through my forebearers to go on. They speak of a Turul Vidrol of an owl that once terrorized the forest, whose soul is sealed within the perch of the apex. The tale has only become more vague as the mist of time obscured the treasure's origin. Even our village's eldest remember aught but an ominous warning uttered by those who once wielded its magics. The master of the epic shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. It's clear that despite owing their safety to the Apex's power, our forebears viewed it somewhat to be feared. It must be truly immense. Now, on the matter of the thief. Even during our brief acquaintance, he made plain his desire to bring change to Razatan. Clearly, I've started my search here and have been seeking anyone who's expressed dissatisfaction with the status quo. Cool. Even sure enough, I soon hear stories of a recent arrival, a self-styled savior of Razatan who proclaimed that he will lead the city to greatness and calls himself the Justicar. He's apparently taken on the burden of personally extinguishing the beast which Davnir's wilds. He made a great show of claiming his he alone is equal to the task. While he certainly draws a crowd with his boasting, they only watch with mortified curiosity as he sets off within the jungle alone. I realize this could have nothing to do with our problem, but even the smallest lead must be pursued. I've heard him often give his speeches at a region's smaller settlement, so shall we go to see this Justicar for ourselves? It's decided. I hear Yidlaman would be a great place. I don't know how to say that name. The village's name. It'll be a good place to start. Hopefully there we can all find our next crumb of a clue. Drac'to, we are in luck. This boy says the very man we seek. It seems he gave the same grand speech about saving people, claiming the danger lurked nearby before venturing forth to combat it alone. Yet the Radiant host could not well stand idle if they were truly beasts of foot. So one of them followed him. All we need to do is pick up the trail. He ran towards the shroud, but you might be able to spot him from Kajja's footsteps. You can see the whole forest from there. Thank you. Thanks. You've been very helpful. So, Drac'to, let's head there and see what we can see. Now then, let us begin our research. Since I've never actually seen the Justicar, I suggest we find a Radiant host soldier first. They do all wear similar armor after all. Alright. Now then, let us begin our search. Oh. See, it must be him, but what happened? We better get down there quickly. Not to worry, Drac'to, he's unconscious, but otherwise appears unharmed. We heard you came here in pursuit of the Jessica. Do you remember anything? Yes, I eventually found him. He was confronting that fiend and now lies dead. He was confronting the live fiend that he was dead? I'm going to do an Indian accent because Rajasthan is basically India. Ah, yes. The Justicar graces Razatan. The Justicar graces Razatan. I'm gonna adjust, seeing where if he's from Razatan, he's gonna get the Indian accent too. I shall bring unending peace to this beleaguered land. You are brave to follow my path. Few indeed possess the merit to even consider the terrors which threaten our home, let alone stand against them. Yet courageous though you may be, you are far too weak to fail a beast so mighty. Quit this place with your life, while you yet are able. That's just the weak monster. I am of the Radiant Host. If I run from such meager pest, I become a laughingstock. How bold! To look death in its eyes without flinching. I don't know your conviction to defend Razatan, yet I believe its peers before mine. Apex, bestow upon me your divine might. You do not hear my call. I require your power more than ever. Is something supposed to happen? Why? Am I yet unworthy? Or mayhap there's a button I must press. This is not what I expected. Stand aside, I dispose of the pest. Just give me a moment. I can't end like this. I would be made a fool. Come now. My moldy trinket. Work! Transform me into the hero of Razatan! He brandished that item and became writhed in a mysterious light. Then boulders started falling from the sky. Down they came, one after the other. That's when I must have been struck unconscious. I recall my only fainting, but I think I heard the man mumbling quite excitedly as if he had come upon a sudden revelation, or if he was overtaken by madness. My lord. Seems he was very away. He got away unscathed. Either he had a incredibly stroke of luck, or whatever he was beseeching to actually answered. Then it is as suspected. The Justicar is the self-same thief who stole the perch of the apex. But no doubt he's long departed from here. First, I'll escort this fellow back to Yudlamad and keep a close eye on him. Head wounds can be can have dreadful after effects. The soldier made his way to Razatan to make a formal report, and what all report will be? It's not that bad. His accounts seem to align with legends of the treasure's power. The wielder escapes unharmed and brought ruin to those around him. Could this falling rocks have been a freak accident? I'm not so sure. You won't believe it! He came back! Who came back? The Justicar? Yeah. Not long after you left. He said he beat up a monster and knocked out a Radiant, and he was laughing his head off. But did he really do that? Is he really stronger than the Radiants? No. Whatever he did, the monster was slain, I suppose. Well, my mate can't stop. But my mate can't stop talking about him. He wanted to be just like the Justicar. His mom and dad aren't happy about it though. I advise you and your friends to look for a different role model, but we thank you for telling us that would happen. Well, there is one less fiend skulking about, I suppose. They have been simply testing the treasure's capabilities, and so far as we know, he's yet to use the power to evil ends. Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna want to do it in front of a giant crowd, and then once he tries to do it in a giant crowd, it's gonna basically it's going to harm the entire crowd. I find this motivation a mystery. To steal the perch of the apex by force, only to come here to Fafnir to use it for good? It makes no sense. You've heard tell of the passage of the Unbound, yes? May have ventured to Turliolola, claiming to be their victims. Many have ventured to Turliolola, claiming to be their victims. Yet here they would be saviors. If he had such noble goals, then why did he stoop to such devilish deceptions? What could he be plotting? No, but that's neither here nor there. He stole from my people, and that misdeed cannot be forgiven. The perch of the apex helped us win peace. By its might, our forebears built the foundation of the lives we now lead. Until recently, it stood silent, a symbol of our pride as a people. It reminded us that we carved out a home within the inhospitable wilderness. Being trusted with its protection is a great honor. I was so proud of my father when the eldest chose him, so proud to be his daughter. Yet, since the day it was stolen, some of our villagers made their disdain towards him only too clear. I couldn't bear it. That's why I must get it back, to restore my village's pride and my father's reputation. There's still so much we don't know about the Justicar, but we have to assume he's learned to wield the Apex's power. I can't say whether those falling rocks have anything to do with it, but I won't discount it outright. I'll continue to look into his whereabouts while we still have so many questions. With both of us working together, we'll find answers soon enough. Drac'to. I fear there has been some development that are less than encouraging. News of Justicar's action have spread throughout the city, and with each retelling his deeds become more valorous. The younger citizens in particular seem to view him as something of an idol. Despite the creatures he hunts pose no real danger, he would paint them as mighty beasts in need of felling. Of course, the Radiant hosts are far too busy to trouble themselves, calling every pest that casts a sideways glance at the city gates. Yet the Justicar has twisted circumstances to his advantage. He proclaims to everyone who listens that the Radiant host shrunk with fear before these beasts, and that he's the only one who can eradicate them. Though you might expect such claims to be dismissed as wild ramblings, it seems a few people have fallen to his forest ploy. The whispers of his exploits amongst the youth have particularly grown into a clamor. Yet, we mustn't be discouraged, for his increasing fame only makes it easier for us to sniff out his trail, and we're better to start than Razatan. I'll see you there, Drac'to. Given how large the city is, let's split up and cover more ground. I already have a destination in mind, the High Crucible. I hear the alchemists there can concoct all manner of tinctures and powders. Including those which help in detecting traces of energies left behind by magics and enhanced tools. Fallen rocks have inadvertently marked locations where the Justicar has performed one of its feats, and I believe an alchemical mixture can help us determine if their presence is the work of the treasure. I'm hardly an expert in such concoctions, though, so I'll seek advice at the High Crucible. While I'm doing that, I would ask that you go to the Hall of the Radiant Host and see if they have any new information on the Justicar's whereabouts. Does the plan sound agreeable to you? Great. Now that we both have our tasks, let's get them done. I'll see you back here once our business is done. I feel like I should be getting the concoction and you should talk to the guard. I'm tired of hearing about this Justicar. Its popularity amongst the city's younglings is quickly becoming a cause for concern. Truly as we might to refute his claims that the Radiant Host was allowing monstrous beasts to run amok unchecked. You know how young minds are, impressionable and difficult to change one's set. Initially, this regarded him as a boastful eccentric, but his alarming sway over the populace can only no longer be ignored. We are at present considering whether to open a formal investigation into his actions. Yeah, you and this ally of yours have done well in your search thus far. We even have a working theory about this fallen rocks, quite impressive. Several of our numbers have accompanied him during their patrols, only to lose sight of him under a hail of rocks. Such incidents have become all too frequent, and many in our ranks demand we act. For now, I'm afraid this is all the help I can offer. Please, share what I've told you with your companion, and together we may yet unmask the Justicar. It's heartening to know that the Radiant Hosts are taking this seriously. Thank you for speaking with them, Drac'to. I have good tidings as well. I explained the situation to the alchemists, and they provided a power that could help detect traces of magic in the surrounding environment. I said help because the powder reacts only faintly on its own. To function properly, it requires the skills of one practiced in magical arts. Luckily, I have you. I've committed the location of all sightings of of the Justicar to memory, and the closest to us are the perfumed rise. Let's hope this powder works as intended. Justicar was sighted near here, and I didn't see any other conspicuous rocks around, so I'm sprinkle the platter over this one. Now concentrate your focus or inner eye or whatever is the local of your power, and see if you can't detect any unnatural forces. So, were you able to detect anything? And you could do it. So, because there is no crystal in the rock, the energy detect must be a remnant of some kind of spell, is that right? And taking the story of the Radiant we rescued previously into account, we can conclude that the Justicar uses the treasure to call these rocks down from the sky. At least we have an inkling of the true nature. Even so, not every question has been answered. The Radiant told us that even the Justicar stood before the creature. He seemed to have trouble calling for the apex power at first. My father once said that the perch of the apex is much like the wand used to wield his magic. Of course, the main difference between them is the unique nature of the essence stored within the treasure. I know little of such arcane instruments, but you must be quite familiar with them. How do you use yours? I channel Aether into it. I see, even with the right instrument, spellcasting requires the use of specific techniques. The Justicar seems to lack any such expertise, so how does he tap into the treasure's power? I suppose the perch of the apex possesses some unique method of activation. When I spoke of the representatives of the other tribes of their treasures, no one mentioned special techniques even required. Not that the relics should have such in common to begin with. You two, do you see Oda an overall girl passed through here by herself? Afraid not. What happened? Wait, I recognize you both. The hero of the final days and our recent visitor from Tsohg. Come again. Apologies for the imposition. But may I beg your assistance? It's all that Jessica's fault. The girl said she was off to join the Fool's Crusade and ran off from Himan before anyone could stop her. Her mother begged us to find her, but if she's following the Justicar, she could be anywhere. You see, he's been sighted at locations scattered all over Devnia. We can't stand here looking at rocks while a girl is in danger, especially if the Justicar is involved. We have to help. That'll be much appreciated. I've searched places where Justicar is out before, so perhaps you can start where he hasn't been seen. Good idea. As far as I know, he hasn't been sighted at the northern shores. Come on, Drac'to. I don't see her anywhere. I hope she's safe. I heard fighting, so I came as fast as I could. It's a good thing you've arrived to save the girl. Save the girl? Time to save the girl. Thank you, mister. Thank you. Glad you're safe, but your mother must be worried sick. You shouldn't run her off like that, especially not to look for a trickster like Justicar. What? You mean he's a bad man? Yes, exactly. He stole an important treasure from my village and now he's using it to make himself look brave. But he needs to kill the monsters to protect us. There's no excuse for stealing. He might have fooled you younglings, but the Radiant host knows what he's up to. But he said he saved us from monsters. He's our hero. The Radiants say we shouldn't be scared, but we all know the Justicar is the one who keeps us safe. We don't need the Radiant anymore. No hero can save the world alone. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say bad things about the Radiants. They protect everyone in the final day. I guess I forgot how much they care about us. I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that after you've been what you after all you've been through. You say the Drac'to is a thief and a trickster, but I hope it's not true. He's my hero. Well, I'm best escort her back to Yudli Hamad. I'll meet you there later, Drac'to. Greater teleportation. The girl and her mother are reunited, and I think we can both give ourselves a pat on the back. They're on their way now to inform the radiant host of all in as well. I would like to apologize before I let my emotions get the better of me and harangued that poor girl when she was hardly to blame for something I really should have been for anything. I really should be scolding myself. I'll scold. I mean. Drac'to, there's something I neglected to tell you before. The man who now calls himself the Drac'to came to our village in the guise of a worldly merchant. He was eager to ask about the perch of the apex and its history, and I was equally eager to tell him, not even considering what he might do with the information. I was so proud of my father for being appointed as his guardian. I suppose I was trying to impress this stranger of out of sheer vanity. The vanity led to my father being attacked and this treasure being stolen from under our noses. I have no choice but to make amends for my mistake and bring it back. Yet some are convinced that the Drac'to acts only to serve the greater good. I couldn't accept that, but he might not be as rotten as I thought, and lashed out at the wrong person. From now on, I won't let my emotions cloud my judgment. I must remain calm and look at the facts for what they are. And the facts say that the Drac'to has done no harm to the people of Daphne, well, except for the Radiant Host. Even so, their organization he serves, the Path of the Unbound, is evil to the very core. If his actions at my village are not villainy, I don't know what is. The situation is fraught with contradictions. I still don't know what to think about you, Drac'to. What about you, Drac'to? Even if he hasn't attacked anyone, his actions are stirring unrest. I agree. He spoke of justice and heroism and great bluster. Yet there's something we're missing. Thank you, Drac'to, for your wise words. I sometimes find it difficult to keep my heart from skewing my perspective even. So I'm grateful that you're here to help me see clearly. So it seems our objectives is unchanged. Track down the man who stole my people's sacred treasure, whatever his intention may be. Unraveling them comes second. To finding the man himself. I'll continue to pour my every effort into searching. So stop by from time to time, and I might have something new to share with you. So is the Justicar gonna be end up a girl? Because it keeps showing me on the oral girl here. Drac'to, I thought where you've been. I hope you've been well. Since last we spoke, which was a few seconds ago, the Justicar has been busy felling fiends all across Davnir, leaving a trail of witnesses behind in his wake. More than a few have reported seeing stones fall from the sky, which all but confirm our theory that the treasure is causing the phenomenon. The stories share one more perilous commonality. It seems the pests he slay have all been of the Seakin variety. Why he avoids beasts of flesh and blood, it is yet a mystery. It bears mentioning that each of these our witnesses' accounts come from people who were rescued by the Justicar, who inadvertently appears just as these creatures attack. In fact, the Justicar has been there to save the day in every single instance of seed-kin-related mischief. Awfully suspicious if you ask me, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. Some amongst the Radiant's host have suggested that the Justicar is planning these assaults somewhere, so he alone can reap the glory of thwarting them. I could agree, and think this should be our next venture of investigation. Avenue. Many of these incidents occur near the Giant Skull grounds, so we should start our search there. If we can find one of these monstrous plants before it finds hapless prey, we may be able to shed light upon the Justicar's methods. Time is of the essence, so let's leave at once. Any moving brushes, shivering vines out there? In any case, Drac'to, I'll search the western path. Why don't you search the east? If you see anything, if you see something, but don't strike to kill. Weaken it and capture it with this rope. We'll learn much more from living specimens. If you see any moving things sprouting, beans, flowers, or the like, capture it with the rope and bring it here. I see plenty of fauna roaming about, but flora all seem to be of rooted to the ground variety. Perhaps my hunch was incorrect. You found it? You found one? In fact, this is exactly as Eyewitness described. Why don't we keep it for a time being? Bring it to the Great Fork, and I'll ask my acquaintance there to examine it with all haste. This alchemist and I spoke briefly at the last time I was here, giving her the little seedkin you caught, and I'll see what she makes of it. Mistress Tepeka told me what to expect. Right then, let's see the thing. Oh, I didn't expect to be so diminutive. If Mistress Tepeka's intuition is correct, then I expect some interesting discoveries are in store. You've brought me quite a fascinating sample indeed. I can say for certain that this creature's growth isn't natural in the slightest. Biologically, it's still but a sap, as you can tell by its size, but yet it is the result of a specific alchemical mixture which is used to spurt the growth of the seeds and mycelium to an unmastered degree. The agent has a side effect of making the creature more aggressive, which explains why such small specimens with bees were so boldly attack being larger than them in itself. Yet the solution requires ingredients most rare, and the cost of procuring them to synthesize is where it would be beyond the means of most. So, whoever is behind this, they are very well healed. So for creature themselves, if they were all grown artificially, perhaps that explains why most of the incident involves small seedkin. Rather than waiting for them to mature naturally, the Beskar must have accelerated their growth so that he could deploy huge numbers out in a short span of time. In fact, his plan likely requires a small, weak foes in order to guarantee his victory. After all, the great Justicar can hardly be expected to bear the blemish of the feat, which these new details brought to light. It's almost certain he's staging attacks on the common folk. Now, we have a new perspective to guide our search. Perhaps you should return to Yid the Han. I hear the Justicar is the talk of the village, but they doubtless have stories to share. A splendid idea, thank you. We found your findings have brought us closer to unmasking the villain. Let's hurry to Yidlaham. The more accounts we have of the Justicar, the better our chances of predicting his movements. His next move. Rest assured, the Radiant Hosts are well aware of the Justicar. Every day we receive reports of him combating beasts in surrounding wilderness. These encounters are never on well-traveled roads, it seems. They occur in remote regions, and we scarcely patrol amongst routes that are only used by a small number of merchants and porters. We are concluded that the Justicar either has uncommon knowledge of the behavioral patterns of these creatures, or that he keeps some close company with the merchants who travel these obscure paths. Oh, you're hungry to learn more of the Justicar. You are hungry to learn more of the Justicar. He's amazing. I was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of him on the road leading here, face down a fearsome foe creature. I don't know how he did it, but he carved down rocks from the sky to knock that thing flat. The Radiant Host was away on patrol, so if he hadn't come to our rescue, the brute would have marched right into our homes. He shouted that he was the savior of Asatanda and even waved at. Oh, he looked so impressive with the sun shining behind him. Oh, don't tell me you've come chasing the half-baked savior. The younglings might be taken in by his honeyed words, but anyone with experience can see he's nothing but a charlatan. I have a story to prove it. A merchant I know took a tumbler as he was transporting his goods. Not long after comes the Justicar, looking chivalrous as you please in his shining armor. But did he offer a helping hand? No, he ran off with merely a glance backwards. He may go on a slaying beast, but a real hero would never ignore anyone in need, even if they were just suffering from scraped knees and a bruised ego. Drac'to, do you have a moment? I'm having a little trouble here. I sought this merchant out because I was told he dealt with an alchemist in the Great War. I thought he might know something about the Iskra, but when I asked him, well, he's been like this ever since. I apologize. I was just surprised that you would ask me about a madman. The connection could he possibly have to me? The fiends. He fights our growth. He fights with growth, with rare alchemical material, and we think he may be staging these encounters. Since you deal in such wares, I wondered if you might know how he comes into progressions to their prison. I do not know what you're talking about. However, I mean, I've never spoke to this man. I'm very doubtful about that. Perhaps he'll be more receptive to question from your question, Drac'to. He seems to have intimate knowledge of the trade routes and the alchemy. We taught him. I once. Come on, any merchant with knows for profit have good relations with the alchemists. Why? Why, by your way of thinking, any one of us could be in league with Vera Zihan. Vera Zihan, you say? Who is that, may I ask? What did I do? No. That's my name, I'd be a fool to continue this route any longer. My son, Vera Zarha, is the one you know as the Justica. To be suddenly confronted with the misdeeds, I'm quite lost my composure. You're his father? Then do you know how he came in possession of such rare materials and knowledge? He stole them from me. My most valuable material, my precious maps. Yet I was the one who chose to hide the fact, and I bear the blame for this consequences. Can you tell us about him as a person? Vera Zaha was possessed with a talent of legend. Was obsessed with the tales of legendary heroes. Even from a young age, I paid a great deal of money to have him tutored in the arts of the bow. He became quite skilled at it, in fact, but not quite as skilled as his arrogance led him to believe. Due to this, and perhaps a lack of ambition, he never aspired to true greatness. Instead, he came to rely upon fanciful equipment and exotic potions, rather than honing what skill he had. It pains me to see him fall in disillusionment, but he would brook no counsel. So several years ago, I gave him enough coins to support his lavish lifestyle and told him to never speak with me again. He didn't until but recently when he darkened my footsteps once more. And that's when he stole your goods? Although I would have willingly given him if he had asked, he was rambling about almost incoherently saying that his heroic deeds as the Justicar has caught the eyes of many. Someone named Al-Yalhi, leader of Passage of the Unbound, whoever they are. He claimed that under the guidance of his newfound allies, he has obtained a great power enough to eclipse all heroes who have come before and should come after. So, as he puts it, it seems he gave what money he still has to these people. To think that all his fanciful words, he only feigns to grasp at hollow glory, all at the expense of Erazatan. This is no great shame as a father. There is no greater shame than as this one. Given what we know of the shadowy crew, he most likely aimed to sow discontent through Vera Zian's deeds. He may be so blinded by his own desires of adoration that he can't see whose hands here are pulling strings. You're saying that he's being used? If that's true, then I can no longer remain silent. Despite what shame is may bring, I see now that sharing my story might be the only way to save my son. Indeed, I suggest you tell the Radiant Host at once. Of course, we'll be pouring our every efforts into stopping them. Thank you for giving me direction. I didn't imagine it would end this way. Truth be told, I'm not entirely unsympathetic towards Vera Zahan. I basked in my father's reflected glory while having none of my own to speak of. The glory Vera Zahn seeks is similarly false. I too shall visit the Radiant Host and have them spread word of the Justicar's true nature. If the people are wise to his tricks, they will be far more likely to aid us. They'll soon learn that a legend built on lies is no match for true heroism. Greetings, Drac'to. Vera Zahan's father has been as good as his word and has confessed the truth of his son's actions to whoever will listen. Even amongst the younglings, far fewer sing the Justicar's praise. The tide is turning in our favor at last, and the Radiant Hosts are making ready to tighten their nest. Speaking of which, they have curious news to share. They've been examining the stones left behind by the Justicar, and noticed the pattern. They were all various varieties of stone commonly found near the site of each encounter. For instance, near the Giant Skull grounds, the Justicar seemed to have called down a hail of what else but Giant Skull. I have my own theories, but what this means, but if I have my own theories about what this means, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, Drac'to. The rocks weren't summoned, but moved. Indeed, the perch of the apex lightly lift whatever rocks are nearby and bring them crashing down to earth. If our suspicions are correct, we're only one step to unraveling its mysteries. But despite these favorable developments, the Justicar's popularity remains a problem. Even with the recent blow to his credibility, his most ardent followers still idolize him. In fact, I heard he hands out letters to the youths at Razadhan, though their contents are closely guarded secret. All that the more reason to investigate, don't you think? Once we get to Razadhan, if I question people around the marketplace, could you cover the city's western corner? That's where the younger followers tend to gather. After we collect enough information, let's meet to share our findings. See you at Razadhan, Drac'to. The Justicar gave me that invitation. It was only for some thief to snatch it right out of my hand. You believe in the Justicar too? Well, didn't have a chance to read the whole letter before it was stolen, but he's gathering the most devout of his four specialities. The bastard who stole my invitation is clearly up to no good. He even muttered something about getting revenge. But who could hate someone so noble? Noble my ass. Oh, you're the one who's always followed that Tepiki around. I heard she spread rumors around about the city's savers. I won't let her harm his reputation anymore. Then she already has, so I've nothing to say to her lapdog. Really don't. Kids these days. Yeah, I know of the letter. Me and my friends don't get one though. The grown-ups get angry if we talk about the Justicar. But guess what? I heard Zashal talk about him over by periods. He heard. He has a big grin on his face too. Does this mean the Justicar isn't as bad like the grown-ups say? The most useful clue points to the merchant Zashal having some connection to Vera Zan. He was last seen near Ride's Spirit. It's true what they say. A fool and his gold are soon parted. Huh. Why, if it isn't one of the heroes of the final day, this isn't about the map I sold to your companion, is it? You find it point the way to the vault. You'll find it points to the way of the vault of Ajdaya. Azeldel the exactly as described. I may have employed a few creative methods to entice my customers, but what's merchant don't, doesn't? It seems you're as unscrupulous as ever. Now a man can't fill his belly on virtue and honesty. Any road, something tells me that's not why you're here. You're after the Justicar. Your choice of quarry is unusual, as to say the least. Perhaps I can help you along, eh? A young man came asking for a map to open the way to Urzer. I sold him every map I had, assured him the one he needed was amongst them. I suppose he found it. So I heard these letters that were handed out contain a copy of a map. I dare say the young fellow was a Justicar himself, and he's planning on a clandestine meeting at Uzer's canals. Mind you, it appears he has no shortage of enemies. No doubt they'll try to interfere. Thankfully, Razatan isn't known for large-scale criminal organizations, but that hasn't kept the less unscrupulous civil citizens from dirtying their hands when times of desperation. From what I hear, the bandits seek to rob trade caravans, keep running into the Justicar during his fiend-falling exploits, causing the raids to end in failure. Look at like as not. They'll try and infiltrate his group of followers and settle the score. And that's where my knowledge of matters ends. If you're wondering where the meeting place is, all I remember is that the spot marked on the copied map is somewhere in the shroud of Tsohg. So, does that answer your queries? I mean, I did find a vault, thanks to you. Where are you again? Waitress. Slide! Viper! This is... Those in support of Juskar doesn't seem surprised when I told them of his misdeeds, but still they are reluctant to betray him. In short, I've had no luck. What about you, Drac'to? Your investigative ability never ceases to amaze me. As for this gathering Zan is planning, I expected some scheme to prop up his flagging popularity. Even so, many of his devotees are younglings, ill-equipped to make the perilous journey to the meeting place. If they've any sense, rather than attempting to travel there directly, they'd stop at settlement along the way to rest and confirm the route. You say the map leads into Shroud of Tsohg, yes? That means Kazakhstan is the closest settlement. I hear many took refuge there during the final days, and it's not a bustling town in its own right. The arrival of some people will hardly raise eyebrows, making it the perfect place to avoid unwanted attention. While they make ready, we should head there before they leave on the final stage of their journey. I was right, Drac'to. Many of the youths are carrying pieces of parchment. Those might be the letters. Yet it seems my reputation to precede me. Our suspected followers clearly avoid me whenever I try approaching them. Still, we can use this to our advantage. None of them would dare leave Kazakhstan while there's risk. I might follow after. I'll keep watch over the goings, but we'll make sure to leave obvious blind spots. If one of the Juskar's followers attempts to escape the village, I'll need you to go after them. Find a vantage point that affords a good view while keeping your view hidden one. Once we've started pursuing our witting target, I won't be far behind. Wait, they didn't see me? Follow young man's fate this young. The port should be nearby, and then I finally meet him. What? You're the hero who saved us in the final days. What are you doing here? So you're working alongside the woman that I saw at the village. I heard about the rumors she spreads, but I have no idea she enlisted your aid. The Jessica saved me, you see. I was transporting goods from a local merchant who was too misery to even hire a proper escort. A furious creature ambushed me, but my savior appeared from nowhere and saw off the beast. I owe him my life. That's why I came here, to see if there's any truth to the rumor. But now I understand I'm in over my head. I'm going back home. Here, you can have the map. I trust you take the measure of the Justicar and share the truth with us all. Apologies for watching from the shadows, but I was afraid my presence might have startled the lad. I was able to hear what he said, though, and his gratitude towards the Justicar seems genuine. I dare say the other followers feel similarly. Well, now that we have a map to our map of our narrow, let's open the port and confront Virazal. Zan. What a sight! Did the treasure cause this? Oh my! If it isn't the hero who saved Razahan, nay, the world itself. I never expected someone so vaunt to attend my audience, but I am honored nonetheless. Enough of your games, Virazan. Stop this madness at once. After giving such a warm welcome, what's the thanks I get? Well, while 'tis true that I was once known by that name, 'twas merely a guise I wore until I discovered my true identity. No longer am I a masked hero. As long as I am a masked hero of Rasatan, I shall not suffer any to call me Virazan. But that's your name, isn't it? I'm gonna try being a trigger. True hero, you say, indeed. Perhaps casting aside this mask is the price I must pay for the adoration I am due. No one is... Very well, my name shall ring throughout Razanhan. Let it be known that the Justicar is Virazan, and Virazan is the Justicar! What are you saying? You unleashed the perch of the apex onto your followers. Your own followers? You know its name, yet I remember you. You're the girl from Zakturero, yes? Your village's artifact is not discriminating it in its wrath. Some amongst my followers harbored wicked intentions, and it brought sorrow onto my enemies. The truth of the heart caught in the aftermath were merely unfortunate. Unfortunate. But they believed in you even though you tricked them. What kind of hero are you? You too would oppose me. I thought that a fellow savior who might find some common ground, yet it would seem we are destined to walk different paths. Now faced with unknown peril, a great fervor rages within. However, here is not where we shall match wits. No, a more fitting battleground is in order. We will meet again soon. You have my word. Ah, shut up. Ugh. So, can you tell us what happened? Here? He gathered us all around and made a grand speech claiming he was the hero that would drive back the flood of fiends threatening Fafnir. When he spoke of his anger of recent rumors, he told us to go forth and repair his damaged reputation so that the people would love him again. He became quite compassionate, in fact. As for us two, we were here to teach him a lesson. Bided our time until his back was turned, but we couldn't stomach his self-righteous drivel any longer. He acted like he's a god come to grace Stavnir, but most people have grown wise to his trick, including the Radiant Host. We stepped forward and told him as much, demanded he admit that he's pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That's when he started waving that thing around. We soon learned that the rumors of his powers are true and the rocks started falling down around us. Even us, the true believers, were not spared. There was nowhere to run. Justicar said such power cannot be fettered, and sacrifices are unavoidable, all while he was laughing. We pleaded with him for mercy, but that just made him angrier. He flourished his object around, and yet more rocks assailed us. It was horrible. Stones big and small rained down endlessly until you two appeared, that is. Thank you for telling us that happened. I only wish we could have arrived sooner. Now, just to set things straight, if you two had brandished your weapons first, yes? Well, I won't deny that, but we were only trying to bring the truth of his misdeeds to light, though we must have had some personal scores to set her on top of that. Before I left Kalakastan, I asked the Radiant Host to look out for anyone returning from the wilderness. I suggest you to head there to seek their aid. While you're there, share with them what you just told us. And as for the pair of you, don't even think about running away, or you'll have to deal with us to deal with. Water. And water. And water. Everyone here... Oh. Sorry about that. What the? I think I need my camera a bit. Everyone here. She's a Dawntrail. She's American. Everyone here returned to the area to the care of the Radiant Host. As for those ruffians who meant to attack Virazon, it seems they have a history of violence for which they may soon answer. Several amongst Virazon's followers were dealt serious wounds, but we can be grateful that none lost their lives. Exactly as the old saying describes, the master of the Apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leaves only sorrow in their wake. The part about sorrow certainly seems true, at least. We can but hope that Virazon's spell over the people will be broken at last. When word of what transpired has become common knowledge, let the buoy our spirits as we return to Idhilnad. Great, our teleportation. Oh shit, I have to check. Has there? Please. Steal reins. Damn it, Sepentlord. Oh, that was 4 hours ago, so don't beat myself up too bad. Nope, no other Sepentlord things. I'm farming feats. Well, that was certainly an ordeal. Although Virazon got away, we can look back onto what transpired to plan our next course of action. It appears that this treasure takes rocks from the surrounding environment and makes them rain down upon the wielder's surroundings. However, the power seems to be somewhat haphazard. While Virazon himself was instructed, boulders assailed friends and foe alike. Something else has been nagging at me as well. The stone we saw in the canal seems quite a bit larger than the other ones. I don't know what to make of it, but I will give it some thought. We still don't know exactly how it controls the Apex's abilities. Either we must focus on these mysteries as we continue our investigation. As for Virazon himself, he was just as his father says, wasn't he? His so-called heroism is just empty charade, but like a child playing at being a hero from their storybooks. He's so motivated by a vain desire to gain the love of the people, yet he cares none of their well-being. He'll learn his lesson soon enough, though none will sing his praises after word of what happened at Uzan Air spreads. Uzan Air spreads. Even he must know this. I worry that his desperation will drive him to worse misdeeds. If the treasure is used with reckless abandon, it could cause untold harm. I must discuss this with the Radiant Host. Together... Ah, shit! Together we must be able to capture Virazon before he attempts any drastic. Stand by for now, Drac'to. I will be in touch the moment I have anything to share. Ooh, I might have actually matched it correctly, and I'm gonna level up after this. It seems Virazon has been laying low since our last encounter. I'm sad to say, however, that my investigation has uncovered little, but still, there's cause to celebrate, for I've received a letter from my mother with good tidings. My father is finally awakened from the grievous injury dealt to him by Virazan. He's well enough to travel to Turuliolo in Drac'to. That may have already arrived. Of course, I'd love nothing more than to go to him, but I pledged not to return until I have the perch of the apex in hand. Besides, I'm soon to depart with the Radiant Host to try and sniff out Virazan's whereabouts before he acts out of desperation. That's why I asked that you go in my stead. As the treasure's guardian, no one living is more knowledgeable about its history than him. If you share with him all that transpired since we've began our search, he may be able to point out something that we missed. I know it's a lot to ask, Drac'to, but the safety of Fafnir depends on it, and please, give my family my regards. My mother should be able to tell you where in Turuliolo my father is staying. Once you finish, let us meet at the Aetherite Plaza in Razatan to share what we learn. Oh, if it isn't Drac'to, but I don't see Tepika with you. You come alone? I'm glad to hear my letter arrived safely and that Tepika seems to be as tenacious as ever in her search. Her father, Netze, has already arrived here from Turiola, but has barely stayed in one place since. He seems desperate to help Tepika from a distance in whatever way he can. He told me he was traveling to the Purioleon plains in search of information. He assured me with quite vital. If you wish to speak with him, he'll doubtless be in the area. Free to do it that way. And then I fly. Behold the magic of hammer! Thank you, traveler. I overextended myself. I've been recently recovering from a serious injury, and was a fool to confront such a beast alone. So you're the Drac'to I heard so much about. I owe you my thanks for all you've done to recover the perch of the apex. News of your progress in Daphne is most heartening. Despite my position as guardian, I never knew it could rain down stone from the heavens. Since arriving in Turiliolo, I've done what I can to shed light onto the Turol withdrawal sealed within the treasure. After the nation of Turol was unified, some left our village to build new homes in the city. I sought them out to see if they know anything of use. Unfortunately, none could offer insight into the treasure's magics. But one of them told me that owls lurked around this place. And since the Turol withdrawal sealed within the perch of the apex was once an owl, it seemed logical to pursue such a quote. Thought perhaps I would glean something about the ancient beast from their behavior. Like as not. Some fundamental aspects seem in the most even after transformation. But having heard your account, there is no fundamental difference that stands out. So far as I am aware, no owl native to these lands possess the ability to hurl rocks, large or otherwise. But no doubt that Turol withdrawal gained this power following its metamorphosis. To be believed, I do believe, however, it would retain the owl's core instinct, the one you have fought didn't strike unprovoked. Instead, it watched me from afar with fear in its eyes. While this is normal behavior for most animals, I'm surprised by how suddenly it descended upon me the moment I started approaching. Sensed danger and attacked preemptively. I had the same thought. The owl sensed the threat that chose to confront it rather than run from it. And this same impulse may have driven the Turol withdrawal. Indeed. That correlates with something I heard from one of my countrymen who had relocated to Turoliolo. He spoke of a continuation, the tale passed down from the elders. No hunter's arrow could fell the apex. It was struck down in a hail of its own wrath, made wild by a heart of fright. Thus it was sealed away at last. Now, judging from the owl's behavior, I can theorize that the treasure is activated when its bearer senses danger. And according to the story, this power can easily get out of hand if it bears panic. Of course, this theory may be tested first. Viral Zaan would certainly use the perch of the apex again. When he does, I ask you and Tepika pay special attention to the circumstances leading to its activation. You have my thanks, loth though I am to admit it. I've yet to recover from my long convalescence, and I will... Convalescence? I don't know. Listen. And I will only be a burden to you. I wish I could aid my daughter along another way, but you more than make up for my absence. Please lend her every bit of knowledge you have, Drac'to. I pray that my daughter will soon return home. Treasure in hand. Chest bump. Ooh, that's expensive. Roll. Razatan. Drac'to, you've come just in time. Virazan has shown his face in Razatan. You can tell me about your journey to Roliolo later. For now, come with me. Haha, are you surprised? Thanks to my sage counsel of a fellow hero, I have decided to doff my mask. Although my face may be unfamiliar, I believe you know who I am. I am once just a car, but now you can call me Viralzan. I am Thavniri. I am a Thavniri protector, its savior, its hero. You may have heard God, me and my inability to read. Salacious. Not that. Salacious rumors that I have orchestrated the very attacks which I am, that I have so valiantly driven back. I was behind the catastrophe at the Uzanir canals. I am here to assure you that those are false accusations. False aspirations all, cast by those who are envious of their betters. I give my life, or Aya, for this fair city and its people, and I would give more still if I could. What shall we do? It might be best to lock him up before this gets out of hand. Wait, you don't want him to rain down rocks with all these bystanders around. For now, keep a careful eye on him. All I ask is for your respect, your adoration. A dream held by all, but realized only by the few. And I would be one of those few. I have proven myself worthy to be being your savior, and now, with an entire city watching with bated breath, I shall declare my intention to reach ever higher. Yes, for I can protect you all the better. As your ruler, I shall retire the mantle of hero and take up the crown as king of Razatan. You're stupid? You want to fight a Drac? Okay, now you're... That bastard's gone mad. I will powered unassailable. With me on the throne, you will never again have cause to fear. All will live in peace. All will shower me with love. They will shout into the heavens, and for the love will spring a new Razatan, a greater Razatan. Enough of your lies. Enough of your lies, Virazan. The power you wield protects none but yourself. To everyone else, it brings only ruin. Of course, the road to greatness is ever paved with necessary sacrifice. Yet, as long as your ruler lives, Razatan will know aught but prosperity. You really don't know how. What? My God, you're really stupid. You think you're better than Master Vitra. He bore the city and its people on his back, while you looked fit to collapse under the weight of your own armor. You're no leader, you're a damn joke. Does this man speak of you all? Is there no one among you who will follow me into the brighter future? But I am nothing if not magnanimous. Until you find the wisdom to accept me as ruler, I shall continue to stand vigil as your eternal shield. Stop this, Virazan. You're only making it worse for yourself. Can't you see you've become a laughingstock? Give up this facade and answer for your sins. Do you do so now, and the Radiant Host may yet grant you mercy. My sins? I am not the one poisoning the people against me. Do your worst, I dare see. You only make me more powerful. I know not what is in your heart, but please end this madness, end it, and return to me, my son. Don't get any closer! You two, why are you... Whoa! Don't! If we fight here, there's no telling how many innocents would be wounded. Pathetic as ever. I'm tired of this farce. I have declared my intention to become King of Razatan. As for you two, this is no place for a battle between heroes. We will meet again, mark my words. And we think we will decide who is mightier. We cannot risk a confrontation in the city. You're right. Of course, as much as I hate to see Virazan walk free, we've yet to ascertain the extent of his power. For now, we must bide our time. I noticed that despite all his proclaimed love for his people, he doesn't even look back at them as he retreated. Perhaps he can't bear to look at them in the eyes, or one of them at least. I've just had a thought. We should speak with Virazan's father. That was a disaster. Virazan is truly lost. At the very least, he committed himself to fun. At the very least, he's committed himself to fomenting unrest within Razatan. Although he is my son, I cannot condone his actions. His words are grand but empty, and the ridiculous armor is nothing more than a gaudy decoration. He's truly the embodiment of false heroism. What's more, at least this latest debacle has surely made him a criminal in the eyes of the Radiant Toast. All I can do now is beg them to grant my son some small degree of clemency. Before you go, may I ask you something? After Mirazan called down the rocks, did you see his expression? I thought it peculiar, but I'm curious as to what his father saw in that face. It's familiar enough. When I used to scold him for losing himself in make-believe, he would give the same cast in his eyes. I look for her. Petulant rage, as if he resented me for pulling him out of his reverie and into harsh reality. He hasn't changed. Apologies, but I must. Just as I thought, even clad in his shining armor, he can't bear to be told no. And now his childish games has taken a malevolent turn. But for now, we must return to Iliad. I still have yet to hear what you learned in Tyroliola, after all. Light evolution. Now that we have some room to breathe, I'd like to hear about your journey in Tyrol. Did my father have anything to share? I'm heartened to hear he's well enough to go chasing after owls and such, though I wish to take more care. Thank you for saving him and from bringing me his theory concerning the treasure. If it really is triggered by sense of pending danger, that might explain why Virazan has trouble using it in the first place. He wasn't truly afraid of the small fungi until it was almost upon him. It also explains how he can wield the Apex's power despite having no training in magics. It responds to emotion, no, not intention. Intent. So much is falling into place. He called the radiance into apprehending him because he knew the threat would be answered. You saw how nonchalantly he quit the plaza, almost as if defying anyone to stop him. Virazan truly believes himself to be untouchable. I think his words and deeds align with theory as well. As for the curious fragment of a story, seems to imply that the Tyrol Vidrol lost control in a panic. Perhaps its strong growth is proportional to the danger it senses, and when the danger is too great, well, you saw what happened at the Izmir Canal, but in Razatan you were present both times, and when others who wished Virazan ill, and both times we saw rocks make much larger than we've seen before. Now, I understand why he's so eager to face you. An opponent of your caliber will strike fear into Hirazon's very core, and that fear will summon a power greater than any he's ever known. Power enough to bring a hero to his knees. Or at least he thinks. But we know better. We'll use the arrogance to our advantage and bring him crashing down to the earth. Although we might have to contend with falling rocks for a time. In a straight fight, he'd be outmatched, so we strike fast and we strike hard. Until the fancy armor is nothing more than a mangled steel. Although you may prefer to put your foe to sleep and whatnot, we know he has an arsenal of alchemical concoction at his disposal. That's why I suggest a bit of good old-fashioned brute force. While you unleash your most fearsome destructive magics, I'd be your shield. Don't even think of holding back. I look forward to fighting by your side. Now we simply have to find a suitable area. I shall consult the Radiant Host as to the location. Once that's decided, we will confront Hirazon for the final time. Woo! Ha! I'm that right. Woo! 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 Star Prism! Star Prism! Star Prism! Star Prism! Star Prism! Supernova Prism. One moment. I'm sorry. When was this? It was a minute ago. I gotta hurry. I know I'm in the middle of this, but this is something I've been trying to do for a while now, so I'm going to Hyperion. Come on! Come on! Come on! Yes! Yes. I'm gonna be doing this. And this is the last part, but you know what? Instance area 88. We're here, so. I can get my capybara today! That man has a capybara. That man has a capybara. He's cheating. That man's cheating. And capybara. Ooh. So I have funny, like a funny man. Where's everybody?
Oh, there's another one who's on there. Let's kill this one and go get the last one. Why not? God, I got hit. Yeah? I call BS. Oh, okay. I don't need to go to maybe I said I'm done. Go back to Behemoth. Ugh, almost 3 hours because I went and stopped to do that. Let's go to solution now. mine! It is mine! The copper bearer! Look at me on that guy. Oh, that's adorable. Wee. Actually, I can turn on the bounty. Oh.
You'll be pleased to hear that the radio host were
Shit.
You're pleased to know that the Radiant host was more helpful in finding a place to fit for a duel. When I saw it, even I began to believe our encounter would be one for the song. Speaking of which, it seems your name is on the lips of all and sundry. The people already consider you the true savior, Razak, and believe that you will bring Viro Za'an, the deceiver of justice. We apologize for putting so much weight on your shoulders, but something tells you are used to it. The final showdown shall take place in the mountain pass near leading to Kradga, where great crystals will stand as witness to its conclusion. Suitably romantic and suitably isolated. The Radiant host has spread word throughout Raza of Thermia that his hero has arisen to challenge Virazan, and his pride will force him to answer. The entry to the place is at the Giant Skull grounds. Let's head there at once to await his arrival. Why am I writing this? I have my capybara. I'm gonna land. I love my flying bike, but got the capybara. Whee! Ha ha!
When I was climbing the ladders, dodging beasts left and right, dawned on me that I had more courage than I realized. Perhaps I merely lacked the proper motivation to use it. Sarul has opened the way towards Chagra. I'm certain Virazan will arrive before long, and then we'll wipe the arrogant grin off his face. But first, we'll check our gear and gird our loins for battle. Are you ready, Drac'to? I want to gird my loins for the army. There he is. Through the cracked peaks of Tsohg, desolated winds blow over the field of battle. Oh, what a fitting location you have chosen for the conclusion of this legendary rivalry. What legendary rival? You're a dumbass. I was right not to face you before, envious, unsuited to a struggle between titans. Now my patience has been rewarded and my heart races in anticipation. I knew you were going to answer a challenge. You would never be able to stomach the people calling you craven. Such boldness in the face of impending doom. Have you not realized by now, as long as I wield the perch of Apex, I am invisible? We'll soon put that to the test. You rely too much upon stolen power. It eludes you. You claim to be a savior of the people, but they have seen through your lies. Even your own father can scarcely bear to look at you. You're nothing but a small man hiding within the hollow facade of a hero, and today we tear that facade down. Will you now? You may have the merit, but puissance to claim the mantle of hero. My mantle! You're not a hero. You're a dumbass. You're a little boy pretending to big man with a gun. You're a pussy. The deceiver. Time for words has passed. Follow my lead. You're fighting a painter. This painter is gonna kick your arse. God damn it. Duty complete. It's now cold. Now, take back the treasure. What? This cannot be. A hero never falls. I must retreat. Yes, a tactical retreat, a noble retreat, so that the Justicar may live to save another day. Huh? So it would be useless in my hands because I pretty much don't really fear anything. I suppose the Apex wasn't finished yet. Puissance. It seems that Virozan is in his cowardly haste neglected to look skyward, which is an unfortunate incident. Or fate delivers his just deserts. That man is dead. That man... That's not... That dude's basically dead. He claims to be Razatan's savior, yet he's sold only discontent amongst its people. Perhaps someday, in a sunless jail, would give him the time to reflect. Perhaps some days in a sunless jail will give him time to reflect upon the error of his ways. And now I finally recovered the perch of the apex. Thank you for coming this far with me, Drac'to. You're in the rain, dear. battle was hard fought, and we made it through. Virazan is the responsibility of the Radiant Host now. And now that I've done what I've pledged to do, I will return home and bring the good tidings to my father, my mother, and father. Yet before doing so, there are so many others I must thank. In the meantime, can I count on you to meet my family at Turol Viola? Really, Turiola, for one final farewell? My parents would surely be glad to see you again.
That's too much money. I'm going to return teleport.
God. Why, if it isn't Drac'to. I'm pleased to say I'm quite recovered since last week, man. Perhaps one day I will have a chance to save you in return. I didn't expect to see you in Turliolol again as so soon. Tepeki is well. Becky. She really did it, and the man who stole our sacred treasure will answer for his deeds. Father, it's good to see you. I'm sure Drac'to already told you what happened. I couldn't have retrieved our treasure without him. So we've heard. But Drac'to also tells us your wits and bravery was essential to your success. Now, on behalf of our whole village, I thank you for guiding Tepika in her quest, Drac'to. Now the perch of the Apex must be returned and put under careful guard once again. The story of the Vidrol's demise proves that we are not meant to wield its power on our own. I'm sorry, Father, but I disagree. Once I return to the village, I want to tell everyone what happened in Bathnir. They need to know what the treasure is capable of, or else we risk forgetting once again. I won't deny that the Apex's power is dangerous. I saw it with my own eyes. What happened when it's wielded with abandon? Yet during the course of our search, I also saw potential. We fully understand how it worked. We could use it without risk to others, ourselves or other people. We could turn something we once feared into our event, instead of letting it become obscured in legend. I see. I can see the reason of that. We must be ever ready for danger. But in times of peace, shall our safety be threatened, the treasure may grant us means of protecting ourselves. But can we be trusted to use it responsibly? Great power breeds great desire. Someone with the same ambition as Hiral's Hirozan may arise again, perhaps from amongst our own. I dare say once I've regaled them with the rise and fall of the Justicar, they'll think twice before following in his misguided footsteps. And our forebears relied on the legend of the Toro of Vidrol's fate to forbid the treasure's use. We can rely on the story of Hirozan's fate to urge caution, and this time we have someone live through it to tell the tale. Of course, if I'm going to guide people in safe use of potential dangerous treasure, I see no choice but to inherit my father's position as its guardian. Some may raise their eyebrows at the prospect of loose-lipped Tepika serving as the perch of Apex's protector, but I've grown from my mistake. And who better to tell the tale of the Hirozan and Tepika's failures? Our mistake wasn't. Your only mistake was in trusting Hirozan, the same as I and many others, but unlike him, you have the willpower to overcome your own failings. Over the course of your long and arduous journey, you've gained a wealth of experience, and your efforts have finally been rewarded. You took responsibility for your actions, and by doing, prove your conviction to our people. They shall listen to this proposition, and with open minds, I am certain. Now we must say farewell. As much as it pains me to do so, I owe you a debt I shall never hope to repay. Once I return to the village, I will do my utmost to protect the treasure we worked so hard to retrieve. Until next time we meet, may fortune smile upon you. Alright. Reach of the apex. Holy crap. I'm sweating so much. Alright. That's it for me for now. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll probably be back on Saturday, maybe. Depending on how things go. I might be coming back on Monday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, who knows? Anyways, thank you for watching. If you can, like and subscribe. Have a morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever